Hello, welcome back to the James Rambling Reviews for yet another episode. And in today's episode, this is going to be this Halloween thing kind of review that I have sort of teased on the James Rambling Show. Like I have mentioned how I might be doing this. So what I'm going to be reviewing is American Psycho. So I'll give you a bit of context and then I'll move on to the plot and my thoughts and how I felt about the film, what worked, what didn't work, all that kind of good stuff. So when it comes to American Psycho, my context behind this is that I've heard about this movie. It's been memed to death because of the main character, Patrick Bateman, and you're going to realise why Patrick Bateman is relevant to the movie, stuff like that. And my friend Phoenix recommended this movie to me and told me that I should watch American Psycho because he enjoyed it and stuff like that. So once you dive outside of the fact as to why I reviewed this movie, why I'm doing the review, the context, stuff like that. So American Psycho, for those who don't know, is about this guy called Patrick Bateman. He's this banker investor guy that pretty much hides all these kind of psychopathic things he does in the background to his friends. He acts chill about this and stuff like that. And also the movie is kind of like a satire horror movie. And it's the kind of movie where you don't really expect it to be something you watch at Halloween. Like the most stereotypical Halloween movies are like that, like Halloween, the iconic movie with Michael Myers. There's Freddy Krueger, there's Jason Voorhees, but then there's like American Psycho, and so that's kind of what the movie's about, and it's like an hour and 40 minutes long, and there's all those kind of ideas surrounding all of that kind of stuff. So, how do I feel about American Psycho? So, when it comes to American Psycho itself, I definitely think this movie is decent. However, there are a few things where you could point out that, oh, I've seen this before, because for example, right, there's like this stuff to do with like how it's a psychological thriller. There's a lot of suspension that builds, right, and this is a technique and it's pretty much a staple of thrash, like kind of like these slashers and all these psychological movies where they have to build the tension to like build up the movie to where it's kind of slow, and then all the craziness happens later, and that definitely happens in this movie because some of this movie kind of just feels like Patrick Bateman is like having these conversations with these people and stuff like that. And what makes this interesting as to why it's like a satire horror is because Patrick Bateman has this workout routine in the morning, and then he does all these crazy killings in his home, and he has this whole thing about, I have to go return these videotapes. And then there's this whole thing about how they're comparing the business cards. The investors compare the business cards. And there's this whole thing about Paul Allen and how Batman like, I killed Paul Allen and I liked it very much, right? And it's supposed to be a horror, but then there's all this kind of cheesy dialogue going on where it's kind of hard to even consider it a very scary movie, because I wouldn't say this movie is the most scary horror movie I've seen ever. Yeah, sure, there is blood and stuff like that, and some kind of thrillerish elements to it and stuff like that. So that's kind of my thoughts about this movie. It's definitely not the worst movie ever, but I still enjoyed the movie. Would I recommend it to people who want to watch it? I would recommend it, but it's kind of an interesting one. I mean, you could watch this movie in April, for example, and you can still get away with it. Like, it's not like a must-see Halloween movie, but if you want a thriller that's got those psychological elements, then you definitely want to watch this one. So other than that, right, I don't think I've got tons and tons to say about this film. That's kind of all I wanted to say. So if this is another kind of shorter review, like a bite-sized 4 minute, 5 minute straight to the point thing, then there's definitely that. So hope you enjoyed this review. I'm actually going to be recording another review after this, which I didn't expect to do, and you'll find out what I'm going to be reviewing then. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review, right? Stay tuned for the next episode of the James Ramblin' Show that's coming out tonight and stuff like that. And stay tuned for more reviews like this. I don't know if I'm going to be reviewing tons of movies, because I don't think I'll be watching Killers of the Flower Moon. Like, recently I've not seen the film, and I don't think I'm going to have a recent review for that. So yeah, bye. That's kind of part one of our Halloween special over. So yeah, bye. See you for another review. I killed Paul Allen and I liked it. Patrick Bateman, all that good stuff. Bye.